Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. I need you to pay close attention right now because this might be the single most valuable video you'll watch all year. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you this because little by little, you're losing something crucial, and you probably don't even notice it. You're losing your mind. Not in a frightening medical way, but gradually, quietly, your brain is becoming slower, weaker, and older. And the worst part, you're not doing anything to stop it. You scroll endlessly on your phone. You repeat the same dull schedule every day. You avoid discomfort at all costs. And then you wonder, why can't I remember things? Why don't I feel sharp anymore? Why does life feel so heavy and colorless? The answer, your brain is decaying. If you don't take action now, if you don't protect and train it like a muscle, you'll end up living like a zombie, awake but not truly alive. This video isn't for people looking for quick tricks. It's for those who are ready to fight for their mind, for those who want to stay sharp, creative, strong, youthful, and full of energy well into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. I'll share with you 16 of the most powerful habits for keeping your brain youthful and alive. Not the same old boring advice you've heard before. These are real, raw, tested practices used by people who don't just want to exist, they want to thrive. And if you apply them, you won't just have a younger brain. You'll think quicker, speak with clarity, feel healthier, wake up energized, sleep deeply, and most importantly, stop feeling like life is slipping away. But if you ignore this, don't be surprised when your memory fades, your focus disappears, and you forget what it feels like to truly live. There's another bonus. You'll also improve your English as you go. While you learn to rebuild your brain, you'll be strengthening your listening, comprehension, and confidence in English, so you're training your mind and your language skills at the same time. Let's begin. Let's rebuild your brain from within. Habit 1. Use your non-dominant hand. It sounds silly, right? But don't underestimate this. It's a hidden weapon for your brain, and hardly anyone takes advantage of it. Imagine your brain as a tree. Every time you try something new or challenging, it grows a new branch. But if you only do the same routine daily, the tree stops growing. Using your weaker hand, the one you normally don't use to eat, brush your teeth, open doors, or write, forces your brain to wake up. It's not just about moving your hand. You're creating new neural pathways, teaching your mind to stay agile and alert. For example, if you always use your right hand, try eating with your left today. It will feel awkward. You might spill food, you'll probably get annoyed. But that's the point. That discomfort is your brain realizing this is unfamiliar. I need to grow. I need to focus. You're pushing it to work harder, and that's when the transformation happens. People who do these mental exercises often show stronger memory, faster thinking, and reduced risk of cognitive decline as they age. Start small. Write your name with your opposite hand or brush your teeth tonight with it. Not as a joke, but as an investment against mental decline. Because when you only do what feels easy, your brain gets lazy. And lazy brains don't last long. Habit 2. Do one difficult thing every day. Let's be real. Most people want life to be smooth and easy. They run away from anything uncomfortable, scary, or painful. But here's the truth nobody wants to face. Your brain only stays young when it's challenged. Comfort destroys it. Doing something hard every day forces your brain to grow like a fighter building strength. What counts as hard? speaking English even when you feel shy, waking up earlier than you want to, refusing junk food when everyone else is eating it, starting a conversation with a stranger, going to the gym, reading a single page of a book when you're tired. Every time you push through resistance, fear, or discomfort, you shock your brain into remembering you're alive. Take Mark, for example. He's 44, once bright and sharp, but over the years he became sluggish, unfocused, and drained. He asked his doctor, "Why does my brain feel old?" The reply, "Because you stopped challenging yourself 10 years ago." Mark decided to start small. He took a 20-second cold shower daily. He forced himself to read a page from a book he didn't even enjoy. He went on walks alone for 20 minutes without his phone. After just a month, he said, "My brain feels electric again." Not because of supplements, but because of struggle. Here's a simple challenge. Right now, choose one difficult thing to do today. Not tomorrow. Not someday today. Do it. Then tomorrow, pick another. Because if you don't, you'll slowly decay in the comfort that's secretly destroying you. Habit 3. Take a break from screens every single day. Let's be real. Your phone is making you dumber. Not slower, dumber. Every time you scroll, your brain is forced into constant jumps. Video to video, post to post, notification to notification. Do you think your brain enjoys that number? It's punishment. It's like feeding a child candy every 3 seconds. What happens? The child goes wild, loses focus, and becomes weak. That's your brain right now. And here's the frightening part. Most people can't even sit quietly for 5 minutes anymore. They panic. They grab their phone like it's oxygen. That's not normal. That's addiction. That's brain decay. Think about someone you know who's always online, checking Instagram 20 times a day, replying instantly, always available. But when you talk to them in person, they can't focus for more than 10 seconds. They forget things. They keep saying, "What?" They're tired, sluggish, mentally slow. That's the price of too much screen time. So what can you do? Start small. Turn off every screen for just 30 minutes a day. No phone, no music, no YouTube, no background noise. Just sit, walk, write, or think. Let your brain breathe. Do it every day and your focus will return. Do it every day and your memory will heal. Do it every day and you'll remember who you are. Ignore this and soon your brain won't belong to you anymore. It'll belong to a screen that doesn't care whether you live or die. Habit 4. Sleep in complete darkness and silence. Let me ask you, do you sleep with the TV on, lights glowing, or your phone buzzing by your head? If so, congratulations. You're damaging your brain every night. Sleep isn't just rest. It's when your brain cleans itself, strengthens memory, resets your emotions, and grows stronger. But that only happens if your sleep is deep. And deep sleep only comes in darkness and silence. If even a small light enters your eyes, a phone notification, a lamp, a street light outside, your brain never reaches full rest. You stay half awake. The result? You wake up groggy, irritated, unfocused. You forget names, lose concentration, and feel older than you are. Picture two men. Same age, same job, same stress. One sleeps 7 hours in a dark, silent room. The other sleeps 7 hours with lights flashing and phone buzzing. After 1 month, one man is energized, sharp, and motivated. The other has headaches, mood swings, and zero focus. The only difference? Quality of sleep. Your brain needs real rest. Make your room a cave, pitch black. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask. Block out noise with earplugs. Put your phone far away, outside the room if possible. This isn't a small lifestyle tweak, it's a brain saving habit. Because if you keep sleeping with distractions, you're not recharging, you're decaying. Habit 5, take phone free walks in nature. Here's a question: when was the last time you walked alone? Without your phone, just listening to the wind, the trees, the birds, or even your own thoughts? If you can't remember, that's a warning sign. Your brain is trapped. You were born to experience life with your eyes, ears, skin, and heart. But now you live through a screen. You hear notifications instead of silence. You've forgotten what it means to simply be. Walking in nature, even for 10 minutes, can reset your nervous system. It reduces stress, sharpens memory, sparks creativity, and reminds your brain what peace feels like. Take Sophia, for example. She suffered panic attacks, brain fog, and constant stress. Her therapist gave her no pills, just one prescription: walk outside daily without her phone. At first, she hated it. She felt restless, anxious, bored. But after a week, she said, I heard birds. I noticed the sky. I heard my own thoughts again. It felt like meeting myself after years. Her panic eased. Her focus returned. Not through magic, but through nature, the medicine your brain forgot. Your challenge: find a quiet park, a garden, or even a tree-lined street. Leave your phone at home. Walk, breathe, watch, listen. Do it every day. Not for exercise, not for fun, for survival. Because if you can't sit alone with your thoughts, you're not in control. Your brain is drowning in noise, and one day that noise will break you. Habit 6. Read something that challenges your mind. Most people only read things they already agree with. Articles that comfort them. Stories that confirm their beliefs. But here's the harsh truth. If your brain never feels confused, it never grows stronger. Think of your mind like a muscle. If it only lifts feathers, it stays weak. But if it lifts heavy, uncomfortable weight, it becomes powerful. That's what this habit is about. You need to read something that unsettles you, that makes you pause and think, could I be wrong? Maybe it's a book that opposes your opinion, a biography of someone you dislike, a story from a culture you don't understand, or a scientific theory that sounds strange to you. When you do this, your brain is forced to think deeply instead of just reacting. And that's how you keep it young. Take Daniel, a 36-year-old man who always believed money was evil. He despised wealthy people. To him, success meant greed. Then one day, he picked up a book written by a millionaire who donated 90% of his fortune. Daniel was stunned. Not all wealthy people are bad, he realized. That one book completely shifted the way he saw the world. It didn't make him agree with everything inside, but it awakened parts of his brain that had been asleep for years. Now he deliberately chooses books that make him uncomfortable. And he says his mind feels a decade younger. Do this yourself. Don't just read for comfort. Read to challenge your brain. Pick up a book or article you'd normally ignore. And when your mind says, this is pointless, stop reading, don't run. Stay with it. Struggle with it. Think. Because if you only ever agree with what you read, you're not thinking. You're just following. And followers don't have young, active brains. They have tired, sluggish ones that eventually stop learning. Habit 7. Recall without checking. This one will sting because you're addicted to doing the opposite. You forget something? You search Google? You forget a number? You open your phone, you forget a name, you just ask again. Sounds normal, right? But here's the reality. Every time you check instead of remembering, your brain gets weaker. You're teaching it laziness. You're sending the message, don't worry, brain, I won't push you. I'll just look it up. And slowly, your memory muscles stop working. This habit is about active recall, forcing your brain to dig out information on its own. It's uncomfortable, yes. It's frustrating, yes. But that discomfort is exactly what strengthens your mind. Take Emma, a 25-year-old student. She used to forget everything, her schedule, her lessons, even her passwords. One of her professors told her, stop writing everything down. Use your brain like a toolbox, not a trash bin. So she tried something unusual. Whenever she forgot something, instead of checking right away, she waited 60 seconds. She gave her mind one last chance to remember. Within a month, she noticed changes. She recalled more easily. She studied faster. She even spoke with more confidence. Not because she worked harder, but because she stopped outsourcing her memory. Here's a rule for you. Before you check, pause. Close your eyes. Try to remember, even if it hurts. Because each time you retrieve a memory on your own, you're building new brain connections. Skip that chance, and you cut them off. This single habit can decide whether your brain ages quickly or stays resilient. Habit 8. Do something you're terrible at. You won't like this one. Your pride will resist, but I don't care. I'm here to save your brain, not your ego. The truth is this. Your brain grows most when you fail at something, not when you succeed. Not when you're good at it, but when you're clumsy and keep trying anyway. Want a younger brain? Then go embarrass yourself. Learn the piano badly. Speak in public and stumble. Dance offbeat. Try cooking a new dish. Sketch a drawing. Your brain doesn't care if you look cool. It only cares whether you're stretching. Think about your daily habits. You forget a number, you check contacts. You forget a word, you Google it. You forget what someone said, you just ask again. Seems harmless, but here's what's happening. Every time you avoid the struggle, you're sending your brain the message. Don't bother. I'll find the answer elsewhere. Do it once? Fine. Do it every day. You're dismantling your memory, not all at once, but piece by piece. That's why you walk into a room and forget why. Meet someone and forget their name in seconds. Read a word and lose it minutes later. That's not age. That's not tiredness. That's a lazy brain trained to give up. Now imagine the opposite. You forget something, but instead of checking, you pause. You close your eyes, you search inside. It feels uncomfortable, maybe stressful, but then suddenly you remember. That moment is powerful. That's your brain whispering, thank you for using me. I'm still alive. That's how memory is built, not by searching, not by asking again, but by struggling. So here's your challenge. This week, pick one activity you're bad at. Do it. Struggle through it, practice anyway. Because when you work on what you're weak at, you tell your brain, we're still growing. But if you only repeat what you're already good at, you're like an old dog doing the same trick forever. Boring, slow, forgotten. Habit 9. Have deeper conversations. Not just, hey, how are you? This habit will feel awkward at first because it forces you past small talk and fake smiles. Most people today sound like robots. How's it going? Fine. Busy day? Yeah, but let me ask, when was the last time your brain actually felt alive in a conversation? Not distracted, not entertained, but truly awake? Your brain craves depth. It needs conversations that force it to think, to feel, to reflect. If you keep talking about meaningless things, your brain will start treating people like background noise. And eventually, you'll forget how to truly connect. Picture this. You meet someone, smile, ask, "How are you?" They answer, "Good." You nod, move on. 2 days later, you can't recall their name. A week later, their face is gone from your memory. Why? Because nothing real happened in that exchange. Your brain felt no spark, no emotion, no significance, just empty words. Now imagine a different conversation. You ask someone, "What's something you're afraid to fail at?" They hesitate, then share something raw. "I'm scared of ending up alone someday." Your brain doesn't forget that. You walk away feeling connected, awake, even changed. That's the kind of interaction that keeps your mind young, not shallow chatter, but emotional honesty that shakes you. Here's what you need to do. Stop asking questions you don't actually care about. Stop giving fake answers. Stop fearing silence. Instead, ask things like, "What's something that changed you this year?" "When was the last time you felt truly lost?" "What's something you've never said out loud?" "What do you regret most?" "What's your biggest fear?" These kinds of questions open people up and they force your brain to listen, feel, analyze, and grow. If you never speak this way, you could have 1,000 friends and still feel empty because your brain has never tasted real connection. Habit 10. Break your daily routine. This one stings because your routine, the things you repeat every morning, afternoon, and evening, is silently killing your brain. You wake up the same way, eat the same breakfast, walk the same path, talk to the same people, watch the same shows, sleep at the same time. Your brain is wide awake but half asleep inside. Repetition without variety is poison. It makes your brain stiff, lazy, and bored. And boredom isn't just a feeling, it's your brain's SOS signal. "I'm dying here." Think about your morning. Did it feel exactly like yesterday? Wake up, check your phone, same breakfast, same shirt, same music, same road. That's autopilot. Do that for weeks, months, years, and life feels like it's racing forward while you're stuck in place. You feel foggy, trapped, lifeless. But imagine a different scenario. You brush your teeth with the opposite hand. You sit on the floor to eat instead of the table. You take a new route. You listen to a language you don't understand. You wear a color you've never worn before. Suddenly your brain perks up. Wait, this is different. Pay attention. That's growth. Same routine equals same results. Change equals growth. Here's what you must do. Break the cycle. Not once, not occasionally, constantly. You don't need a new career or a new city. Just small switches. Eat breakfast in a different spot. Rearrange your room. Sleep on the opposite side of the bed. Work at another desk. Start your morning without touching your phone. Pick up a book from a genre you've never read. Small tweaks, huge impact. Your brain thrives on surprise. And surprise equals growth. A brain that sees the same thing every day doesn't grow. It slowly shuts down. You weren't born to live on repeat. You were born to create. And creativity can't survive inside the same loop. Habit 11. Teach what you just learned. Here's a truth most people ignore. You don't actually understand something until you can teach it. Most people read a book or watch a video, nod along, feel smart for a few minutes, and forget everything the next day. Why? Because they never applied it. They never explained it. They never shared it. Your brain is like fire. If you don't pass the flame, it burns out. Say you watch a video on staying calm under pressure. It clicks in the moment, but the next day you're stressed again. Why? Because your brain never processed it deeply. You understood it, but you didn't own it. Now picture this. Right after watching, you turn to your younger sister and say, I just learned something powerful. Let me tell you about it. In that moment, your brain is forced to organize the idea, find simple words, and express it clearly. You're not just remembering, you're reinforcing. Later that week, when pressure hits, the lesson comes back. Not because you watched the video again, but because you taught it. That's what makes knowledge stick. Not reading, not watching, but teaching. Here's your rule. Every time you learn something new, no matter how small, teach it immediately. Not next week, not when you've mastered it, right away. You don't need a classroom. You just need a moment. Share it with a friend, a partner, a sibling. Write it on paper, record a voice note, or even explain it to the mirror. Each time you teach, your brain rewires itself and says, this matters. And it stores the knowledge deeper, stronger, longer. Even teaching one sentence a day can transform your mind. But if you learn without sharing, you're just piling information into a dusty drawer that your brain will never open again. That's why most people think they're learning daily, but they never change. Because they never pass the torch. Habit 12. Play strategy games, not brainless ones. Let's get clear, your brain hates boredom, but it hates stupidity even more. Most people play games to escape reality. Endless scrolling, mindless tapping, candy-colored puzzles, quick rewards, flashing lights, instant points, no effort, no thought. It feels entertaining, but it slowly kills your brain's ability to think deeply. You're conditioning your mind to expect rewards without struggle, to tap and win, to act and receive dopamine instantly. And that's how you quietly damage your brain while smiling. Now compare that to strategy games. Chess, Sudoku, crosswords, memory matches, or planning games with real rules. These aren't easy. They frustrate you. You lose. You get stuck. You make errors. But that discomfort, that's your brain lifting mental weights. So next time boredom hits, don't open the same shallow game. Choose one that makes you think. You'll feel annoyed, even tempted to quit. And that's the exact moment to push through. That's when your brain is actually working. You'll feel drained after 10 minutes, but that exhaustion is growth, not failure. Think about it. Junk food tastes great but poisons the body. Junk games feel good but rot the mind. Habit 13. Try intermittent fasting for sharper thinking. This won't sound fun, but your brain doesn't care about comfort. It cares about control. Most people eat too much, too often, without thought. What they miss is this. When your stomach is always full, your brain slows down because digestion steals energy. Try fasting 12 to 14 hours, say from 8 p.m. until 10 a.m., once or twice a week. Only drink water. You'll notice something surprising. Your mind feels clearer, sharper, more awake. Why? Because fasting triggers BDNF, a chemical that promotes brain growth, like muscle building, but for your mind. So tomorrow morning, don't reach for snacks or sugary coffee. Drink water and wait. You'll feel hunger, then discomfort, then suddenly clarity. Ideas will flow, memory sharpens, focus strengthens. That's not magic. It's your brain returning to hunter mode, a state forgotten because we constantly feed it like infants. Skip fasting forever and your mind stays foggy for life. Habit 14. Replace brainstorming with brainwriting. This one is uncomfortable because it reveals how shallow most of our thinking really is. Everyone knows brainstorming, throwing out ideas out loud, fast, loud, nonstop. But here's the problem. Fast words equal shallow thoughts. People perform, not reflect. Try brainwriting instead. Sit in silence, just you and paper. Set a timer, 5 minutes, aim for 10 ideas. No internet, no talking, no distractions. At first, the ideas flow easily. Then your mind goes blank. That's when growth begins. Push through and your brain digs deeper. That's where real creativity lives, the kind that can transform your life. Try it now. Pick a problem. Why am I always tired? How do I stay focused? What wastes my time? Write nonstop for 7 minutes. No edits, no backspace, no excuses. By minute 3, you'll want to quit. By minute 5, your head will ache. By minute 7, a thought may shock you, one that could change everything. But if you always brainstorm out loud, you'll only skim the surface, never reaching the depths. Habit 15. Cold showers for mental shock. This one is brutal, which is why it works. Most people spend life chasing comfort. Warm beds, soft chairs, sweet snacks, safety everywhere. But comfort is brain poison. A comfortable body leads to a lazy mind. No struggle, no growth. Now imagine this. You wake up, turn on the shower, and twist the knob to ice cold. Every part of you screams no. Your chest tightens, your mind panics, your body wants to flee. And in that instant, something powerful happens. Your brain snaps awake. No coffee, no sugar, no scrolling. Just shock. Just survival. Your body thinks it's under attack and suddenly your mind comes alive. Breathing quickens, focus sharpens, blood pumps harder, useless thoughts vanish. That's real mental activation. Try this tomorrow. After your usual warm shower, switch to cold for 30 seconds. You'll panic. Your brain will call it stupid. Stay anyway. Tell yourself, we don't run from discomfort anymore. Step out afterward and you'll feel awake, alive and capable. Because if you can master your body's panic, you can master your mind's weakness. That's what keeps a brain young. Not cozy mornings, but facing discomfort head on. Habit 16. Memorize one poem or song verse weekly. This is the last habit, and it isn't soft or optional, it's mental surgery. The truth? Your memory is fading. You forget names, places, small details, and you accept it. You blame age, stress, or life. But the real reason is simple. You stopped memorizing. Why remember a phone number when your device saves it? Why remember words when Google does it for you? Why memorize quotes when the internet holds them? You've outsourced your memory, and your brain has given up. The solution? Each week, pick a short poem, lyric, or quote. Something with rhythm and emotion. Recite it out loud, write it by hand, test yourself. Force your brain to hold onto it because memorization is deep thinking. It demands focus, repetition, and structure. That builds mental strength. Think of a song you still know word for word years later. You didn't try to memorize it, but it stuck. Now, imagine using that same power intentionally with lines that inspire or challenge you. After 1 year, you could carry 50 poems, quotes, or verses in your mind, not online, not on paper, inside you. Science shows people who memorize regularly enjoy sharper focus, stronger recall, better emotional control, and slower brain aging. Without it, your mind becomes like an empty library, rows of shelves, no books. And that's how most brains feel today. These habits aren't comfortable, easy, or pleasant. They're raw, painful, and demanding. That's why they work. Because everything that keeps your brain young lives outside your comfort zone. Your brain isn't your ally. It doesn't care about dreams, only about conserving energy. If you don't resist, it will quietly extinguish your fire. But now you hold 16 tools, simple yet powerful, subtle yet life-saving. Use them daily, not for fun, not for show, but for survival. Because if you don't defend your brain, no one will. Most people will keep scrolling, but you now know the truth. If even one of these habits stirred something inside you, don't just watch and forget. Practice it, live it, fight for it. And if you want more content that doesn't waste time but strengthens your mind and life, then join us. We're not here to entertain, we're here to transform. Let's build unshakable minds together